Welcome to the New Creators Podcast, episode 12. My name is Micah.
And I'm Sean.
And we are back with the 12th episode, which honestly doesn't seem like it's been that long, but we are...
Yeah.
Does that... Wait, to calculate according... If we're doing this every 2 weeks, does that mean... No, we haven't been going for half a year. That's not right.
We might have, though, because we did take a break during the Christmas period. Because when did we start?
Yes.
November, right? November-ish?
I think so. You know what? Let me...
No, I think it was
Let me just
October. Like the end of October, I think.
I'll tell you what. Let me check. Let's see here. First episode was released mid-October.
Ooh.
Because we had 3... Yeah.
Cool.
No, early October.
Early October. Okay.
Yeah, early October. So, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. Hey, yeah, we're 7. It's been 7 months. Since
7 months. We missed the half year anniversary already. Whoops.
Yeah, I don't know how we. It does not feel like it's that long.
How has it been that long?
We started this.
That's
I
wild.
don't know. I really don't know. That is wild. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I think honestly, I'm actually quite impressed because the amount of stuff that like we've all started like by ourselves and that's died like that, like instantaneously.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think it's the fact that we have like when I'm not available to record, then there's always someone else to step in. Or,
yeah.
Like Ethan's been like really busy lately, and he hasn't been on in like 5 episodes now. Which we hope to have him on for next episode.
Yeah.
But we have all these guests and people that are willing to come on, which a massive shout out to all of our guests and everyone who's filled out the guest form.
Yeah, thank you. We are checking it. We are going to.
We are checking it.
And like I say, if we feel like anyone's good for the podcast, then we'll reach out to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if you feel, if you haven't already, and if you want to be considered, please check out our bio.link and sign up.
Yep, that's bio.link/TNC. And there's a little link at the very bottom that says guest application, and you can fill that out if you're interested in coming on the podcast.
Yeah. We're not going to do our plug episode, though. That's the only plug, so we're going to do throughout the episode until the end, obviously.
That is fair enough. No promises, but yes, we should take a break.
It'll be plug episode V2, but we just won't call it that.
Fair enough. I think every episode's a plug episode to some extent.
I suppose.
It's like there's like the YouTube videos, everyone's like, oh, please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell.
Yeah.
It's that, except for podcasts.
Yeah, thanks to our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends, NordVPN, Surfshark VPN, ExpressVPN, all the VPNs.
All the VPNs.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look real quick at our analytics and over the last episode. Let's see here.
Speaking of the stats, shout out to Oren, who's been listening on his Apple Watch. The madman.
Yeah, man, we got a lot of different platforms. So our last episode got about 16 plays right now, which honestly, for being out for a week, most of our episodes gain more tractions. So we are seeing, for the vast majority of episodes, the episode rankings of how many listens there are per episode, and the order in which the episodes were released are consecutive, or like they line up. So like the earlier an episode was released, just the more plays it has, and there's no episode that really seems to stand out, except for the Sports and Rants episode. For some reason, has more play than Simplicity and Complexity, which is a little bit interesting.
It is interesting because I can
that
see
was
why
the first episode.
I can see why
Sports and Rants episode.
That was amazing.
Sports and Rants was the first episode with Perrin.
Yeah, and I see that's
I think
why
drove it up. Yeah, that's what I would. That's
like, for God's sake, we had to limit the man to like 10 minutes to rant about sports, or else he'd just go on for like an hour.
The episode with just you and Porcan is our, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4th most listened episode.
Oh, they're just trying to find out all the British words from us.
You've got over 60 plays on that single episode.
So, let's go. Nice.
Yeah, so people like that one. So we'll have to keep that in mind for future episodes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Very
As far as
cool.
our YouTube channel's going, we're still sitting at a measly 18 subscribers. Thank you, everyone who is subscribed on YouTube. If you're not subscribed to the new creators on
Subscribe.
YouTube, then go subscribe
Yeah,
right
remember like
now.
5 seconds ago
know
when we like called out YouTubers for like subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're just doing that now.
this is true. We are doing that. We are doing that. That's true.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. YouTube's not the best place to listen to podcasts anyway. The only reason we're on
True.
there is because there's a few people who decided it might be cool, and because there's more YouTube Shorts content coming soon. So
Yes.
keep an eye out for that as well.
Let's go.
Absolutely. With that, let's go ahead and get on to the interesting stuff that we've been working on. Sean, you're up.
Oh, let's
What's
go.
been going on?
So again, it's another plug, but I don't care. I've been working on my server's website, Taz Hangout, as you all probably know. I talk about the server virtually every episode at this point. I originally made it back in 2020, I think, with the old branding. If you remember that one, that was like the one where it's literally just my logo with like the text Taz Hangout next to it. It's probably somewhere. But I recently updated it because obviously changed the logo at the start of this year, and I thought, you know what? Let me update it. So I logged into my GitHub, which I haven't done in like 3 months. So, so open up GitHub, updated it, tried to figure out how to use it again because I'm an absolute noob at GitHub just in general. I'm not very good at it. I'm just not very good at programming in general, but yeah, I've updated it. So it's got the new logo. It's also got a new page as well for our music VCs, which are just
It
basically.
does. Which looks quite cool.
Thank you. Again, I have to thank one of my admins for the original design because he came up with the idea and then I just like made it, like redid it basically.
Very cool. And we
But
can
yeah.
point out this website can be found at Taz Hangout, tashangout.versal.app.
Nice. Very cool. Please,
Indeed, that
please,
is quite
please,
cool.
please join. I swear, please. I'm begging you at this point. This is a plea.
Oh, absolutely.
Anyway, that's really what I've been working on. What about you?
So this is funny. So this is literally like right before we started recording this episode. I like ran out of Google account storage. Which the reasoning behind that is because Google shut down their free unlimited photo backups, which
Oh yeah.
I used all the time because I've been a Pixel user since.
So it's not even with Pixels
since
anymore.
like 2017. No, not even with Pixels. They come with no, wait, no, yeah, not anymore. Yeah, not at all. So the Pixel 1 was the only one with the full unlimited original quality photo backup. And then there was, for like a while, there was like unlimited high quality backups, which is like slightly reduced quality, but it was like high enough that it didn't really matter.
Yeah, it's good enough.
And then after that, then they just discontinued it entirely. And so there's no more unlimited photo backup options, except for the fact that I still own my first generation Pixel.
Oh, here we go.
So I have this set up I have the original Pixel set up as an FTP, which is a file transfer protocol server. And so then I have my current Pixel 6a set up to sync photos to that Pixel, and then delete the photos from the 6a, and it syncs the photos over to the Pixel 1. The Pixel 1 uploads them to Google Photos for free in original quality, and then deletes them from there. And then so it's essentially photos that I take on my Pixel 6a go to the Pixel 1 and are uploaded to Google Photos unlimited for free.
Nice.
And it's quite the janky setup, but I'm also getting free unlimited Google Photos storage, which is not something that anyone can say anymore unless they have
that's a big flex.
Pixel 1. Indeed.
It reminds
So,
me.
again-
It reminds me like when you had your issue with like not being able to access Discord and you made mod chat. It's like, you know what? I'm just
And I
gonna make
made
my
mod
own
chat.
Discord.
Yeah. That's my way around things. I would rather build my own solution than pay $199 a month to access Google One 100 gigabyte. So
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, I got it for free actually because when I got my
Yeah.
Lenovo Duet free, it came with a year's Google One, like the 100 GB storage, and I thought that'll
That's
do.
nice.
So that's not bad.
yeah, that's
So-
not bad. See, my thing was when I knew I've been watching my Google account storage slowly decrease over the past
Yeah.
3 months.
Oh
And I was
yeah.
like, I know at some point I'm gonna have to face this and like go through and like delete stuff, but I didn't know what to do. And I have I have a server that runs 24/7 under my bed, mainly to run a Minecraft server that I play with my friends on, but also as like it connects to a hard drive bay that I have 2 terabyte hard drives on there. So I got 4 terabytes of storage under my bed. I was like, well, maybe I could set up like some sort of like self-hosted photo backup solution. But then it just turned out that like, I mean, you're not gonna get like the Google Photos. You have like the face sorting. You have the fact that it's available just everywhere.
Mhm.
There's like too many downsides that I just didn't want to give up. So
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could just turn it into also just normal cloud storage if you really were desperate or wanted that. That means you have your own self-hosted
sure,
Google
yeah.
Drive in a way. But again, it's
'Cause
also,
I
like you say,
have-
the benefits of just Google Drive. Like, you can share stuff because, like, I mean, that's how we share stuff between each
Mhm.
other is through Google Drive. So,
yeah, and like so also like so like my current, let's see here, where's my storage? So like for context, I don't use Google Drive. I have so out of all my storage, so you get 15 gigabytes of free storage with your Google
Mhm.
account. Out of all my storage, I have a single gigabyte of storage wasted with Google Drive.
mhm.
So the large majority of my storage is taken up with Gmail. I have 5 gigabytes of emails.
5
right now.
gigabytes of
I need to-
emails.
Yeah, I've got to fix
Wow.
that. But that requires me to like manually sort through. Like it's to the point I have like actually I've calculated like I think I have like somewhere around like 1 million emails. I
A
think,
million. Wow.
in my inbox. So I think I'm to the point where I'm gonna have to develop some sort of like
You need to
I don't know,
come
some
up with
sort of like
system.
neural network that will automatically like shred through everything because I will not have the time to sort through 1 million emails and find.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. Because, like, I'm so brutal with emails, right? Like, because like, if I get an important email, I'll, like, do whatever I need to do with
Mhm.
it and archive it, and that's me done with it. And then anything else just goes straight to the bin unless I need it. Like, I might, like, click a link to do something if it's, like, something somewhat important.
Mhm.
But if it's, like, a generic email that, like, it'll get sent again or it's just something I don't care about, it goes straight to the bin. Like, my inbox is almost always empty. Because I know one of my friends, he has an iPhone, and I don't know what it is with iPhone users. Okay, this is going to be a bit of an iPhone user rant, but there's 2 things that really annoy
Let's
me.
go.
They always seem to have over like 1 billion unread emails, because they'll have like, like that, and
That's a
then they'll
fact.
also have like 1 trillion Safari tabs open. I'm like, why do you need that many tabs open? Why? And I asked him, I actually challenged him on this. I'm like, why do you have so many tabs open? Explain to me why each of these tabs are open and what you're using them for. And he could barely explain like one. And it's basically the one he was like actually on when he opened the browser. It's like,
Oh goodness.
I
Yeah.
know. Poor iPhone. The poor iPhone's
I
RAM's
think it
just
needs to be
completely
like-
tanked by that.
That's yeah. Gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah. So
Definitely.
long story short, I've got a ton of the problem. The problem is, I'm like it's really bad habit, but I'm like a serial like newsletter subscriber, and so like. So out of like my emails, I've got like I receive emails from Zoom, The Washington Post, Walgreens, Walmart, Domino's Pizza, The Verge. Like,
Oh my God.
I have like the problem is like I just subscribe to way too much stuff, and then just like, and a lot of that stuff is like, hey, like subscribe to this and you get this free download, and I just forget to go unsubscribe, and then it just like, floods my inbox.
I do. You need to get like an email mask. You know what? You get that with like DuckDuckGo or
Mhm.
whatever. You can get like an email mask. That's what I use. Like if I need to like download something, you have to put an email address in. I just put the mask in and then immediately just disconnect the mask from that email list, and then that's it.
Yeah, I need to create because I could easily create
You
one.
could do it
for-
easier
since
than
I
me
have,
as well.
I would say, yeah, I have my Zoho mail, which I use for my business email, like the hi@michaelonly.com email.
Mhm.
I could easily just set up an account on there because each of those accounts receives like 5 gigabytes of storage. So I could just like set up a throwaway account on there, like trash@michaelonly.com or something like that. and
Yeah,
then
I'm
just
actually
send everything there.
I'm really curious now. I'm going to open up my Google Drive real quick, or even just Gmail, because I'm curious how much my storage, like what my storage is segmented into. Because I think if I
The
remember,
easiest way to get there, from what I've seen, is one.google.com/storage.
yeah, I'm there now anyway.
And then that-
So Yeah, so I've got 100 gigabytes 'cause I got the free thing with the Chromebook. So I've got 12 gigs of Google Drive, like on Google Drive itself. Then Gmail, 0.04 gigabytes I've got.
Oh my word.
Yeah, I told you I
the
was
thing
brutal.
is, I don't delete emails.
You
Like,
need to
I
start.
don't think I've ever deleted an email.
You need to start
I wonder
deleting
how
emails.
far back in history I
Right,
can go.
my spam is the only one that's full, and that's because Google automatically removes it for me. How much?
This is... You want to know what my first email is?
Okay.
This
go
is
on.
going to be a flashback.
Is it going to be like MySpace?
Activate your child's Club Penguin account.
Oh, no.
This email is from July 27th, 2015.
Wow. That is the same year I made my Scratch account. My Scratch account is
That's
almost 8 years
hilarious.
old. That's an 8-year-old email. That's like a relic. That should be in like a museum. My God.
I know. And it's like all the assets are still here and everything. That's so fun.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's insane. I don't know what my oldest email would be. I mean, it's probably like a couple years old,
The
but
first
nowhere
like
near
10 emails. The first like 10 emails are from Club Penguin. This is legendary.
Oh my God.
Club Penguin gifts. You successfully activated a 1-week free trial membership to Club Penguin. Oh gosh.
Wait, I need to look this up now. I need to try. I think my first one. Wait, let's see if I can find it. How old? View messages.
Are you on Gmail?
Yeah. How did you find your old email?
Okay, so like in the on the top right area where it says like 1-50 out of 2005 to 6 or whatever, or
yeah.
like, you see what I mean on the top bar. If you click that and then you click oldest instead of newest.
All right. So if I go to all email, that'll work. Hold on.
I would say, yeah, I don't know how you have your inbox set up, but
mine's just set up like the default. So I've got like how you have the ones that separate into promotions and stuff. I like how it's sort of like that because it means like I've set it up in such a way where it knows exactly which stuff actually is promotions and so on. Right,
Yeah.
Oldest. What's my oldest email? My oldest email is an email from my dad. Hello and Merry Christmas. That's very nice. 2013 is how old that.
2013. Okay.
2013.
All right.
I do. This is my oldest email. I know that. 'Cause I still use my old. That's actually really bad privacy, but I mean, yeah, I still use my oldest email for some reason.
Oh no, same thing. I would say this is my oldest email, and it's my
Right.
only email really. I don't have or I guess I have this, and then I have hi@michaellindley.com.
Yeah. So this.
But it's
I
like the
remember
only, like,
this
personal
email.
I kind of have.
I sent this email on my the iPad Mini 4, that little guy.
Oh gosh.
I sent it on
yeah.
that. Yeah, that was
That's
my
so
first
fun.
ever. Actually, well, it'll be relevant a bit later, but I think that was my first ever like mobile device, pretty much like actual like smart device. But yeah, 2013. That's how old that email address is. Oldest email.
I'm still disappointed that Club Penguin is like
I can't
permanently
believe
down.
that.
Like I assumed like their website would still display like a splash screen or something, but if you go to clubpenguin.com, there's just nothing.
That's sad. I don't get why they still
is
shut
sad.
it down. To be honest, because I thought, to be honest, it made Disney a lot of money. Because it's still big. It was still big when it shut down.
Oh yeah. And there's there are like many different Club Penguin revivals. Like
Yeah.
newcp.net is like really cool. I played that for a little while after they shut down. Club
Yeah.
Penguin Legacy is also pretty cool. But yeah,
You know what though? Cool Math Games, it's still up. So I mean,
Cool Math
everything's right
Games
with
is
the
still
world.
up. I followed their meme account on Instagram. Like
They have a
if you
meme
follow
account?
Cool Math Games on Instagram is quite cool.
Oh, right. We're just going through random stuff now. Cool Math Games Instagram. I need to see this now.
I'm about to say this is like the most like unhinged TNC episode ever. We've been going for 20
You
minutes
love
and we
to
haven't
see
even
it.
reached like a
You love-
single topic.
You'll love to see it. Oh, let's have a look, shall we? Oh my god, it is unhinged. Yo, sometimes the sites. Oh my god. This
Yeah,
reminds
I would
me
say
of...
Cool Math Games.
Have you
Instagram
ever
is quite
seen
nice.
the Opera GX Twitter account? It is also very unhinged. I generally believe
Oh, I
they
have
got
not.
some like Gen Z, TikTok addicted 13-year-old to use the account or something.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
insane.
But the Cool Math Games Instagram is actually like quite good. Like they
Oh my
know
go-
what they're doing.
Mr. Blast, and it's got Mr. Beast. Hey! Oh my god.
It's quite fun. So
Wow.
yeah, it's a very solid account. Anyway, we should probably move on to
We should
actual
probably. Yeah.
creator related topics.
Yeah. All right.
We've got the tech events coming up soon, Google I/O and WWDC, which is Apple's
Ooh.
developer conference. Quite fun.
Very. It's quite late. I don't know how when does WWDC usually start? I can't remember, but I thought June's quite late. I thought
Let's
it was
see
like,
here. I don't know.
but I don't know. IO's have you
see
seen
here.
Google I/O's website? It is very nice. I've not seen WWDC.
Okay, IO's website is always amazing.
But this one
love
is
Google I/O.
really cool. This one is really cool.
Is it?
I think
Okay.
it was like a puzzle for like people to solve as well, like to find out the
Yeah.
date early.
Okay.
But it's really well designed. Like this is just
Yeah, I love IO.
is a feast
so
for the
cool.
eyes. This.
It is. Dude, Google's okay, Material I will rant about this forever, but Material U is like my favorite design system. Like it's just so good.
I think it is really.
It's like so natural and like pleasing to the eye.
I actually recently my music app, Auto Music, I use as like my offline music player for like my own music files and stuff. It recently got an update yesterday, and it got like a new playing screen that's like Material U inspired, and it looks so clean. It is
How
so
do you spell
nice.
that? Auto Music. How do you spell that? Auto Music?
OTO, so it's like OTO Music. It should be on the Google Play Store. It should come up because it's a pretty popular. I think it's a pretty popular.
Ooh,
app.
that looks pretty. Oh
It
gosh.
is, and it's always
That
looked
is
really
a
nice.
feast to the eyes.
It
That's
is.
very nice. I love that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's really cool because what I like now is, you know, like when the song's playing, like the seek bar has like it like swiggles, like it's got a little wave that like moves around like this.
Oh yeah, dude. That was like one of my favorite parts of the Material U
Yeah,
redesign.
it's
Man,
really
that is
nice.
very attractive. I love that.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool. I'm gonna add that to a list so I know where that is.
Yeah, so
That's
there you go.
really
If
good.
you're looking for an offline music player, Auto Music, and it's completely free. I think you can like donate to get extra stuff. Like you can like get like different themes, like a AMOLED dark theme and stuff, if you want to donate,
That's really attractive.
which is really
That's
cool.
really cool.
But yeah, there you go. There's my
That's
recommendation.
really pretty. That is eye candy. I
It
love
is
that.
eye candy. But like I say, the IO website, it is so clean too. It is really
Yeah.
nice.
I don't think I mentioned this in the podcast channel, but I was actually so as a Pixel super fan, I received a potential chance to go to IO like in person, but I had to like essentially like create a piece of content explaining like what would I do if I went to IO, or like why would I want to go to IO.
You
And
could have used the
it's like-
podcast as an excuse.
I could have used the podcast. I don't know, but also like it was like, hey, this is a competition, so like if you're gonna do this, it's gonna need to be like well done, and like you're gonna need to put time into it. And I'm like, I don't have time because I'm in college.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I was like especially busy like the week that announcement came out, the week they sent me that email. But I would love to go to IO one day. I think that'd be quite neat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that.
And I was also gonna have to like get my own ticket and everything to like fly to San Diego from like Mississippi. So like,
How far is that? So I know like
or
they're
not
fairly
San
far.
Diego,
but
San
is that-
Francisco.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see
Yep.
here. You know what? I'll tell you what. Let's go to Maps. And
Oh, here we go.
Let's Google. We're going on a road trip. Let's say we're going from
Road trip.
from my college all the way to the Googleplex.
What's so wild is, right, like I don't know how small you realize the UK is like physically, because like you can fit the UK in like multiple states. I think like Texas and like other states, you can fit the UK
for sure.
inside of it, and yet we have 60 odd million people living in this little island.
It's insane.
Wild.
Yeah, I don't know how y'all do it. Okay, so if I drove from my college to the Googleplex, that'd be 31 hours. 31-hour drive. I don't think I want to do that. So let's just say I wanted to find a flight. It's a 6-hour flight.
That's not bad.
But
I mean, that's not too
you're
bad.
looking at tickets. You're looking at tickets from $505.
Ooh, okay, not
for,
so
like,
good. Not so
economy.
good. I retract
So,
my statement.
Now, if I walked, it
Oh,
would only
God.
take me. It would. Or, no. If I biked, it would only take me 201 hours.
Wait, how long would it
Or
take you
even
walking? That's what I want
Walking
to know.
766 hours. How many days is that?
A lot. That's got to be a lot. That's more.
32 days. It would take me about a month to walk.
It would take you more than a month. It'd be more than a month.
Do it. Yeah, I say we do it. We're gonna do a backpacking trip to the Googleplex through like Arkansas and New Mexico and Arizona. Good grief. Okay.
What they do is as well.
Short,
you need to walk in
you
need to walk in like a straight line, like from your college right into the Googleplex. You know, have you ever played Forza Horizon? Because a lot of people like online.
I have not.
So what happens is a lot of people online will like, instead of driving on the road, they'll just like drive straight to the objective, of ignoring all the turns, just going through all the trees and everything. That's what you need to do if you're to walk. Just walk straight line. Nothing stops you. It's like a brick wall. You just climb over that wall, or walk through it if you can.
Oh wow! I didn't realize the Google I/O website was interactive.
Yeah, it's really, like I say, they put a lot of effort. Yeah, they put a lot of effort into it. Like even the letters light up and everything as well. Like it's a lot of work went into this. And like I say, I think there was like a puzzle as well that people could do.
Google's done a puzzle a few different years. I think the last like 2 or 3 years they have done one. But yeah,
but yeah, really clean.
So
design.
Who knows what they're actually going to announce? I'm assuming, if I had to guess, I'm going to say probably a lot of AI related stuff. Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Just because which honestly,
not a surprise.
I'm already kind of getting tired of it. I'm like, I just wish that like I would love to just see Google like invest more in the Pixel ecosystem, maybe like a second generation Pixel Watch, or like I don't know. I don't know if AI is like the real thing. I mean, I'm sure that's what the investors want to see because that's their primary competition right now. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll get into that. WWDC, there's been rumors that there's also a mixed reality headset potentially coming out, which out of all the companies to do it, I didn't expect Apple to really be into that. I don't know why. I just feel like, especially after the failure of Meta with kind of trying to introduce this metaverse concept or this mixed reality future, I'm quite surprised that Apple would kind of come out with a similar tech. Not to say they're going to like start saying the metaverse is the future, but I was surprised that they're going with a headset potentially.
Yeah, and I knew they were considering this. Like we've had pretty decent evidence that they're considering building a headset for quite some time now, but I didn't expect again that it'd be this soon.
Well, it's just a rumor. Who knows? It might not turn up at all. We don't know.
For sure.
All we really know is...
I mean, this is like at least like the third year people have said, oh, it's coming this year. It's coming this year.
It will happen.
I don't know. I have to say, we'll see if it actually happens or not.
Who knows? But basically, all we know for sure, there's going to be a new version of macOS and a new version of iOS. That's what we know for sure. So it'll just be to see what happens, what new features. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. And like I say, Google I/O, same thing. We'll just have to wait and see what Google comes up with. Hopefully it's interesting. Anyway, we'll see when they happen. So Google I/O is May 10th, and Apple WWDC will be from June 5th to the 9th.
And I'm sure we'll have a lot more coverage of those events after they happen. I'm considering also, like, depending on, like, well, you might be asleep during when they're happening, but I'm considering attempting to get some TNC people to possibly do, like, I don't know, like a live reaction, like live watch of the thing. I don't know about I don't know exactly how like much of that you're allowed to like stream live, but at very least we could do like a reaction stream or something like that. I don't know. I think that'd be interesting to do at some point.
Yeah, I think that'd be interesting. Or even if we couldn't do it like live, even do like a TNC live that's like after the event, say when we're all available, and we can just talk about like the stuff that's announced. Especially like I feel like when the Apple event happens, like for like new Apple products and stuff, or the Google event for new Google Pixels and stuff, that'd be quite good to like talk about what's new and stuff.
No, I agree for sure.
Yeah, very cool.
Very cool. Well, what we have next is a little interesting. Sean wrote, we don't want to get too political with this. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
so
we're not.
Let's talk about
podcast.
the TikTok ban.
Yeah,
we're not a political podcast. This is true.
I don't want any more politics. I've already seen too much of it this week. So
fair enough. We can talk a little bit about well, let's talk a little bit about the TikTok ban then. So, uh, if y'all don't know, the TikTok ban is essentially, uh, there calls within Congress, the United States Congress, to ban TikTok nationally, unless the company that owns TikTok, ByteDance, is willing to sell its stake in the company, so they would no longer be as Chinese based, because there's like worries about Chinese spyware and stuff like that being embedded in TikTok or TikTok servers. Um, uh, Personally, I think it's likely that like potentially there could be
Hmm.
spyware in TikTok,
I feel
because I
like,
mean we
yeah,
know that the Chinese government is like,
a
whether
bit
ByteDance
dodgy.
wants to be doing it or not. We know the
They're a
Chinese
bit
government would
sneaky. They're a bit
specifically do
sneaky.
that.
Yeah.
They are.
But I feel
But I think
like,
the funniest thing. Oh, go
uh huh.
ahead.
No, oh sure.
Go ahead.
I feel like it's a weird thing because I totally agree. It definitely, I think 100% it's spying on people. But I feel like every social media does that. It's just the problem is obviously it's a different country doing it, not,
Mm-hmm.
Americans doing it to other Americans. But I find even stranger is like if we apply the logic to other apps, then I feel like Spotify could even be banned. 'Cause it's Swedish, if to my knowledge. So again,
I think the
Swedish
difference.
influence.
That
You
I'm
know,
gonna say,
they
I
might be
think the
trying to find out
difference is
what
that.
new IKEA furniture they might want to start promoting in America. I'm just saying.
Oh gosh. See, I think the difference is that Chinese is a state that is like
Yeah.
notoriously like anti-American and
Mhm.
basically
Yeah.
anti anything of American values or just Western values in general, which I think is why they're worried about it. But regardless, I think the funniest thing to come out of that,
Oh God.
I don't know if you've seen any
I
of the
have seen the
clips,
Congress hearing.
but
I've seen
oh
clips.
gosh.
I've seen clips. Can I talk
It's
about the one clip specifically that I find the funniest, real quick?
Well, let me say real quick a
Oh yeah,
bit
sure.
of background. Again, for I don't know where everyone is watching or listening to this podcast, but the U.S. Congress is primarily older people who have no idea how the heck technology works. Which, again,
What?
that's a big problem.
Yeah.
But that, again, that's slightly political and not exactly.
To be honest, we're
territory
saying
for this
it's
podcast.
political, but I feel like that's literally every country ever. Because in the UK, it's the same problem. Because we have like a new bill
see,
coming
okay.
through that's like to change to make the internet more safe, right? Which okay,
Mhm.
I'm with that. But when you actually read the bill or anything about it or anyone talk about it in like the House of Commons, which is our base, it's like the Congress
Mhm.
kind of, I think,
Yeah.
equivalent. And it's the same problem. They're all old people who don't even know how an iPhone works. They can't even turn it on.
I know.
I think
Yeah.
if you showed them a
But
Nokia
honestly,
3310, they'd be scared.
but honestly, like y'all's government system is slightly cool because y'all have open source websites. Like most of y'all's government websites are open source.
Hmm.
I don't know if you knew that, but that's like the
I did know
coolest
that,
thing
actually.
because like our like the United States government's websites are the worst things you have ever
I've
seen.
actually
Like,
went on one
y'all's
out of
are.
curiosity, and it is so confusing. I did not understand it. Right, if you go to like gov.uk,
If you go to
right?
US dot, if I would say if you go to USA.gov, it's really
All right,
bad.
let's
And
say
that's one of the most modern.
USA.gov. Let's have a look. Let's have a look.
It's one of the most. It's
Oh
one
my!
of the
Oh
best.
God! Oh my! Yeah, that's a lot of words. I don't like those. There's a lot. There's a lot of words.
I know it's really bad, and like gov.uk is like very
It's
much
so
clean
clean.
and simple.
And can I just say
It's
as
very
well
nice.
how fast gov.uk is? Like you click a link and
Oh, it is.
it's instant. It's like rapid. It's wild how fast it is.
But
yeah.
okay, you want to see? Okay, let me find an example of like a really bad, Tennessee or
Like
a
also,
really bad
since I am
website.
right, UK government, okay, but you know, it's a gov.scot. I keep forgetting because it's gov.scot. Yes, gov.scot. Even gov.scot is really good too. It's a lot simpler to use.
Oh yeah,
It's even got little
that's nice.
animations.
I just sent you the
All right, here we go.
the website for Tennessee.gov, which is the state I grew up in,
Cool.
and it looks like it's from 2015. Which honestly, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Oh,
but it
the
very much
stock
looks like 2015.
photos. Nice.
I know it's really bad.
That's amazing.
But also, just like this is like excellent compared to like what most like if you the all like the cover websites for these places are like, oh yeah, that's like pretty decent, like it works, it's fine. but like when you go to like actually like do something,
It's
like
yeah, it
file,
just
fill out
descends into
document or something
chaos.
like that, it is the worst thing
Oh
ever.
yeah,
But
I just went into the
regardless,
department directory. Oh my god, it's just it never
I know
ends. Yeah,
it's really bad.
it's really
So
yeah.
regardless, so that was just an example. I was
That was a
giving,
tangent.
but like if you, but like just another example, like this a very similar thing to this this hearing happened a few years back when there was like the big thing. I don't even remember what the context was, but
Was
it was
it
about
the
Facebook.
Facebook one? Was it the
It was
Cambridge
the
Analytica
yeah, it was.
scandal? I think.
I
Because that
possibly
was
so.
yeah.
Yes.
So I think I remember. This is the one where Mark Zuckerberg came up and he looked like a robot when he
Mhm.
drank the water. He's like,
Yes, that's the one I was talking
yeah,
about.
yeah. That was
Yeah,
the Cambridge Analytica
but like
one.
again, same thing. The congressmen, congressmen and congresswomen are just asking the stupidest
Oh,
questions.
the worst
And
one. The worst one. I know. I assume you remember this one, and it's when I can't remember who asked it. I don't know who the politicians are, but one. I think it was a bloke, and he said, "How does Facebook make money when it's free?" And Mark Zuckerberg, with the perfect, impeccable comedic timing, just said, "We run adverts," and it's like,
yes,
this is the level
yes,
we're
I
on.
know.
And this is the
It's
thing with
so
the
bad.
TikTok hearing. So they had a hearing, I think, last week or the week before, about talking to the CEO of, I think, the USA arm of TikTok. And one of the questions that one of the politicians asked was, does TikTok connect to my home Wi-Fi? And
That was what
it's
I was
like,
talking about.
yes,
Does
of course.
TikTok connect to my
What else is it
Wi-Fi?
meant to do? Oh dear.
Yeah. Oh my word. There's so many. I
Or
don't
there was
know.
another
This
one that
it
was
kills
very
me.
goofy as well. I think it was like she showed like, well, it's a swear word, but she showed a trash post that had like 5 likes and said it was like a threat against her life, when it was pretty obviously just like Gen Z humor that obviously
Of
no one
course. Yeah.
no one over the age of like 20 understands it, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my god, like there's actually security concerns here, and this is the questions we're asking.
Mhm. And I don't think that it can even be, like, I wouldn't even say that. I wouldn't even think that it's political to just say that, like, would there need to be more people in government who have actual ideas about what the heck is going on in the tech sector? Because
Yes.
no one does at the moment, and it's awful.
100%, because especially right now with AI, like how fast AI is advancing, you think that you need people in government who can like keep up and actually like make sure that we're not going to like create Skynet.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just silly, because I just don't understand, you know, why. It's a similar problem, like, you know, because how long it took us to get GDPR as well. Like by the time GDPR came out, they already moved on to new ways to track people. So, you know, like fingerprinting and that. So the problem is like you can have good ideas, but you need to like, actually get them out there, you know? But
Yeah.
the TikTok hearing, I mean, like again, there's security problems, there are risks, and there are genuine questions to ask TikTok. I don't think anyone can, like, that's not a political thing to say. Most tech companies, there are security concerns with them being in government, right? Like being used by government employees and stuff, right? And there are genuine questions to ask, but literally nothing of value was asked in that hearing.
Yeah. And, like, again, it's like, I understand, like, we have, like, tech consultants and stuff in the United States governments, and they'll often be at trials and hearings like that. But, like, I'm of the opinion that, like, the Congress people themselves should have, at very least, like, minimal technological education.
They should be able to turn on an iPhone. I feel like that's what you need to test them.
Yes.
Can you turn this thing on?
Or, like, can you understand the difference between, like, what Wi-Fi is and what
Yeah.
your data is?
Well,
and, like, the fact
well,
that
it's-
those
you
aren't the
should-
same.
You
Like,
should at least understand that every single social media app connects to your home Wi-Fi network to work. That should be something that you should know. Like, that's not a question
Or-
you should be asking.
Or you could just understand, how Wi-Fi works. The fact
Yeah,
that, like,
yeah.
like, Wi-Fi isn't just something that I connect to make my phone work. No, Wi-Fi is a thing that connects to a vast array of data. all across the world, and it's my gateway to that. It's not just like some magical thing I have to connect to make stuff work. Like,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't know. It kills me when I see these trials like this, because the U.S. government especially just has no idea
It
what is
was,
happening.
yeah, like, regardless of your political stance on the whole TikTok thing or whatever Chinese government in that, it's just such a goofy hearing. It was really funny to watch. Like, I just saw the clips, but I mean, my God, what a joke. It just, not even a joke in terms of like political joke, just a joke. It was just funny to laugh at these like old people, basically. It was. Oh, wow. I just, yeah,
Yeah,
what a
it's a
nightmare.
mess.
Exactly.
It is a mess.
Yeah. But
Well, 30 minutes into the 40 minutes into the episode. Let's move on.
this
to the main
this
topic.
is not going to be a short one today, folks.
This is not a short one.
We've got a
This is
lot
not
to
a short
say.
one. So I don't. Do you remember how we came upon this topic?
Judah, he suggested it.
Yes, yeah. Judah suggested this. Judah Brown suggested this, but wasn't able to make it to this recording. But tech at an early age. So like, what age should people be to use social media? Like, what age do people need to be getting computers or cell phones? And this is kind of driven by this article about Utah, which is a state in the United States that is establishing some new laws regarding social media use.
Yeah.
So it's a bit interesting because
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know if Utah just expects like
It's a really
every
weird
tech
government. How are you meant to
company-
govern it? That's what I'm confused about. Like,
That's I would agree. Like, so I don't understand how. So according to this legislation is going to take effect on March 1st in 2024. So from what I can see, just from this little article here, so we have parents will have complete access to their children's accounts, which includes like direct messages, which includes posts, and anything on their account a parent must have access to. There's a curfew between, is it 22?
I think
is that 10:30?
yeah, something like that.
10:30.
So
10:30 and
10:30 and 6:30 in the morning.
Yes.
So basically, no.
So curfew, parental access, cannot collect any data or targeted advertising for minors.
Which I thought was already a law.
I thought that was already a law.
I think it's not
without
COPPA.
consent. I don't know.
I think it was COPPA. I think if I remember correctly, but who knows?
Again, I don't know I don't remember what COPPA exactly applies to, because I thought
I don't think anyone knows at this point.
I don't think anyone knows. COPPA hasn't been a concern for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, so those are like the three main tenets of the bill. But like, how are they going to enforce that? Like, are they just going to expect every social media network to
Just turn off the servers?
Yeah, or are they going to like, hey, are we just gonna like, are they gonna like ban social media networks that don't apply, like that don't add those laws, or add support for those laws? Like, I don't know. Like, it seems like, oh yeah, this is a bill, but like, how on earth is it going to be enforced?
Yeah, it reminds me of a bill or like a law, like an idea that not the government had, but it was being proposed to the government here in the UK about, I think it was, the idea was, let's have people sign up to Twitter and like other social media sites, but have to use like a ID, so either driver's license, passport, something that verifies your identity. So that means like if you cyberbully someone, if you say nasty stuff on the internet, the police can actually prosecute you. So for example, if you said something like terrible, like hate speech or something, you could actually be, arrested or whatever. And while the idea, you think to yourself, oh, that sounds like not a bad idea, like, makes people accountable, fair enough. But the problem is like, do you trust Twitter with your passport? I don't. Especially because the same week, like, Twitter got like hacked and like people's information got like leaked and everything. So it's like, maybe it's not the best idea.
I would say, or the fact that just like, what, like, in that situation specifically, like, hey, like, what is classified as hate speech, like, that could change.
Oh yeah.
And like, hey, like,
exactly.
Again, it's there's always fine lines.
Yeah, there's more angles, but the basic thing is like,
agree with you.
yeah, the basic problem is just that Yeah, the basic issue is just like, I don't trust social media sites. Like, you're basically saying they legally have to collect more information on you, which everyone agrees
Sure.
is a bad idea.
Yeah.
You know?
No, absolutely.
But yeah, anyway, back to like the Utah bill. I mean, like, I get the idea, but I just don't know how that's going to work. And also, I don't know if it's a good idea just to let parents have full access to everything their kid's doing, because it also depends on the context. Because well, if the kids, you know, there's certain situations where you would say like maybe the kid should have some privacy, especially like the age. 'Cause I don't know what the actual limit, like, is it also teenagers that it's
18. It's 18,
18? Jeez,
which is
I,
which is that's a lot. Like,
that's a lot. I can maybe see
my
like I
parents
get.
heavily monitored all my activity until I was like 18,
Mm-hmm.
probably. But like, of course, they got like gradually like less
Mm-hmm.
less detailed about it the older I got. So
Mhm. Yeah, but
I don't know.
I find 18 is a bit wild. Like, your parents have access to everything you do. So if you
Yeah.
look, they know you're looking at like Big Chungus memes or whatever, or what, it's just a bit weird. Like, I get the idea, but I don't know how I don't think most 17-year-olds would like their parents to have full access to what they're doing on whatever app, like TikTok or whatever,
Mhm.
you know. But
The real question is, how does this affect wasteof.money?
true, very true.
Does Jeffalo,
Watch out, Jeffalo.
developer in Switzerland, have to follow Utah's laws about giving parents access to social media?
What about Mod Chat? Watch out,
What about
Micah.
mod chat? What actually that no, this does bring up like a legitimate question. Like, it's funny, but it's like a legitimate question. What's classified as social media?
Exactly.
Because if you're going to classify anything that has user interaction as social media,
Scratch.
then where does it end?
Scratch is
Yeah.
also
Well,
WhatsApp.
Scratch is already technically for Scratch, you're supposed to sign up with your parents' email address.
And we all know most people don't do that.
Most people don't do that, but like technically, Scratch would
Technically.
fulfill. I think they'd fulfill.
They
those
probably are
requirements, and they don't
fine,
collect data.
but
So yeah, they're probably fine. But
And
like,
that's-
again, smaller networks and stuff like that, and like
yeah.
where do you draw the line? What
Mhm.
is social media? What's not social media?
And a good example would actually be, how like some websites will ask for your age. Like, for example, if you go to like a website that's for like an alcohol brand, like Guinness or something, you have to type like, are you 18 or over, or like type your age or your date of
Or
birth
21
in.
over in the U.S.
Oh, yeah. I'm talking UK. Sorry, American nerds, but I can
Nope.
drink at 18 legally. Sorry. But if you go to those websites, obviously they ask to like, what age are you, basically, and then you can just lie. Everyone's
Yeah,
done
of
it at
course.
least once. They've lied about their age on the internet.
Or
Like-
even just like when I established my first Google account, I had to lie about my age because like during that time you had to be 18 to have a Google account, and I was 12, and I got my Google account at the age of 12. So
I remember.
like, I don't know.
I remember my dad set up my Facebook account back in the day, like when I was like 13 or what? No, not 13. In 2013, I think. And obviously I was underage for like Facebook, so he just like lied about my age. Like, he did it, and he's the adult, so
Yeah.
there's that as well. Because that's the thing. What if the parents also lie? Like, because they want their kids to have access to whatever. Like, even if it's just something simple like WhatsApp to check, like, so they can message their parents. Something
Yeah.
innocent,
Mhm.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought this was an interesting topic because, like, I put here as well, like, what age should kids or teens have a smartphone, or should they even have one at all, basically?
So out of curiosity, so what's your thought about that? What do you think is a good age for
I
kids
don't
or teens
know.
to have a smartphone?
I think it should be something like, I don't think kids should have smartphones. At least, like,
I
under
agree.
13, I think shouldn't really have a
I would agree
smartphone.
with that.
I don't have it. I think what they could do, if you feel like your kid needs to at least have like something to be able to call you with, because for example, back in like when I first started high school, I didn't get a smartphone, but my parents wanted me to have a way to call them directly. So that means I didn't, like, because also they didn't trust. You don't always trust the school, but you trust your kid. If something goes wrong, they'll call you, and they can tell you what's going on. So they gave me like a Nokia brick, like. At least
Yeah.
then, you've got the basic functions of texting and calling, but you don't have the issues of obviously like, unrestricted internet
Web browsing,
access.
social media.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my fault.
And
I feel like if you're a kid, you shouldn't have a smartphone. I don't see why a kid should have a smartphone. And once you get to like teenage years, I think it's up to your parents and also you, because some kids are more mature at younger ages than others, and maybe they can be
yeah,
trusted with it. It just depends. But that's kind of my
for sure.
thoughts on that. What about you?
No, that's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd mostly agree with that. I think definitely if you're like under 13, again, I don't think that unless you have like a really valid specific reason why you need to have a smartphone, I think you should either have like a flip phone, like I said, like a brick phone, flip
Mhm.
phone, or you should just not have a phone until I think again, I got my first phone when I was 15. Yeah, 15. And I think it was fine. I wish I would have gotten my phone 1 year earlier because that was the year I started high school. And I wish I would have had a smartphone when I was in high school. But at the same time, I don't think it really like specifically like harmed my experience or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah. For me, I got my first smartphone when I was 13. So, like, there's just when I was
mhm.
starting high school. So, I had the Nokia brick going into high school initially, but then they got me a smartphone. Now, at the
Yeah.
time, Windows Phone? I had one of those. I actually still have it sitting over
Ah,
there. I can actually get it
nice.
probably. Actually, you want me to go and quickly grab it? You want to see this absolute relic?
Sure.
All right,
Let's
give me
see
a
it.
sec.
Let's see
Give
it.
me a sec.
Okay. Awesome. In the meantime, enjoy this song.
All right, I'm back. One sec. All right, look at
Okay, I
that
was
bad
giving them some
boy.
hold music. Oh, wonderful.
What were
Dude,
you
why
doing?
do all Windows phones look the same? I was
I
giving
know.
some elevator music. I was
Oh.
singing the Jeopardy theme.
Nice. But yeah, there's my old Windows Phone. It
That's
literally it
quite
weighs
fun.
basically nothing. It is so light. Like
Yeah.
right, here's my Note 9, right? Like my current phone. This has a fair bit of weight
Mhm.
to it. Like it's not heavy, but you can feel there's stuff in it, right? There's like hardware.
Sure.
Like there seems to be
Yeah.
actually some expensive hardware probably sitting in here that's been degrading because I've had it for like way too long now. But this thing is literally like,
Yeah.
nothing in it.
I love
But
old phones.
obviously, I mean, no one on the podcast, like actually listening, can see this, but I'll probably post a photo of it on Waste Stuff or something. But yeah, this thing is an absolute relic, and I hated it because it's so bad that it didn't even have YouTube on it. Like it didn't even have an official YouTube app, no Google app. It didn't even have Windows 10 on it. I had to run Windows 8 mobile, so that meant I had
Oh
to use
gosh.
Internet Explorer. This thing used. Like,
That's amazing. Yeah.
it wasn't amazing for me, mate, when I was 30. My God.
No, I feel that. I'm trying to find a picture of my first phone, because it was truly the worst. It was
What
really
was it?
bad. It was see, I can't remember. Okay. Oh, there it is. Hydro. I think this is it. Aha! I found it.
Oh, here we go. Oh, God.
It's a Kyocera Hydro C5170. Let me send you a picture of this.
That's a mouthful. All right, here
It
we
is.
go. That just looks like a flip phone, man. It looks like a brick.
It was a
Oh
problem,
my
man.
God,
It
it's
ran
tiny
Android
as well.
4.0.
This
I know,
makes
it was very small.
this makes
I
this phone
played-
look like a modern masterpiece.
My friend, I played Subway Surfers on this thing.
Oh my
on
God.
it has a wait. Let's look at the specs real quick, because I think
Oh my God. I don't even
Okay,
know what model
it-
this is.
the screen. Okay, you wanna get the screen size?
Please tell me.
3.5 inches. 3.5 inch screen.
Oh man.
320 pixels by 480 pixels. Not
That's
even
rough.
mildly close to HD. Not even approaching HD.
How much RAM? I'm gonna bet half a RAM.
512 megabytes. Yep. 512 megabytes.
Oh my God. This reminds me.
15. But the thing was, this phone was invincible.
Yeah, I
You
mean, it looked. I mean,
could
yeah.
not break it. So it's fully waterproof. Like you could, it was like literally like you could just dunk it in a bucket of water and splash it around. It was
Oh
fine.
yeah, this was the same.
Even
this
better,
thing's
though,
like a brick.
I'm gonna say, so like my friends had my friends were all making fun of me because I had this like crappy Android phone, and I was like, no, but like the benefit I have is mine is indestructible, and also iPhones like they're just gonna break. And, like it's not indestructible. That thing couldn't take anything. I was like, oh, you want to bet? So we were in our school gymnasium, and I just grabbed my phone and just like chucked it at the ceiling.
Oh
I just
my
threw
God.
it up all the way at the ceiling. It hit the ceiling. The back fell off the phone because, of course, the back could fall off the phone then. And the back fell off the phone, and the phone fell back to the ground. The battery popped out the back, and I put it back together, turned it on, and it works perfectly fine. And I threw it up
Wow.
like 20 feet.
Wow.
Because it's just invincible. The screen was plastic. The entire phone was plastic with rubber on
Wow.
the sides. So like,
Wild.
but it was just about the slowest device I've ever used.
Yeah.
So
And what was, you know what was for me? Because my next phone was my mum's old phone. Do you remember the LG G3? Have you ever seen it? Right?
let
And
me look
honestly,
this up 'cause I
So look it up, right? It's actually a really
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, this is actually a really impressive
Yeah, no,
phone.
I've seen
So if I'm not
I wanted
mistaken,
this phone.
yeah, I got it, right? So if I'm not mistaken, it came out in like 2014, I think. Something that time
let's
then.
see here.
Anyway, it came out, I knew, early-ish 2010s, I think. And
20-
for the
2014.
time, it had a pretty big screen. Like, it's a pretty wide screen. Like,
5.5
there's not
inches.
much bezel.
Yeah.
There's not much bezel on it.
There's
really,
not.
for a
and
phone
it's
at
also
that time.
pretty high res too.
It is.
1440 by 2560 is pretty high res.
Yeah. And it ran, like, I had this phone back in, like, 2016, 17. So that means by that time, it was already out of date for, like, Android, right? And yet, it still ran every single Android app I put on it completely fine. It
I
ran
would say
Reddit
it runs
fine,
up to
Twitter
Android
fine,
6,
everything.
which is nice.
Yeah. It was actually
awesome.
a really good phone. And even the skin on it was actually, like, for what it wasn't terrible. It was just, like, a basic flat
LG's
design.
skin is not bad.
Mm-hmm.
LG skin's really not bad because my mom used to have a very similar LG phone, and yeah, LG skinning is honestly not the worst I've seen. So
Yeah, rip LG. That's actually a sad thing. I actually miss LG because I
Yeah.
think they made some wacky phones. Like the LG G5 was like a modular phone, and it was the funniest thing ever. Or they had like a phone that had like two screens or something. Like it wasn't like foldable. It literally just had two screens.
Oh, what was it called?
Like
It was
Twist or
one of the
something.
What is it called?
Like I can't remember what the name, but like it's got like two screens. It's
Oh
ridiculous.
no, you're talking about the wing. You're talking about
The wing.
one with,
That's
like,
it.
twisted-
The wing.
Yeah, no. The one I was talking about was it was a different one. It had a screen on the back. It had a screen on the back of the phone. What was it called?
Wow. Very
I don't remember
intense.
what it was called.
This is very intense trying to
remember
find it. Oh well. But yeah, the whole point was that like we find like LG just had crazy, they just went nuts. They just like did stupidly dumb phone designs, and yet they were like just so fun to talk about. Like the LG Wing was just like funny to talk about because it's like they took our normal phone and just slapped another screen on it and said, there you go. And it was hilarious. Yeah, I still miss them.
They've made some really. That's the one I was talking about. Here it is. I found it.
Oh,
It's
here we
the
go.
LG V20.
Oh,
So
V20.
essentially it had two screens. It had and they're both in the front, not the back. But they had like a top screen, which is like very small, and it like acted as like a dock, and like essentially had like you could put notifications there or like weather there, or like here I'll send a picture of it.
Yeah, I just found it online.
You just found it, yeah.
Yeah, I found it. Is it
It's a neat little design. It's
actually,
completely
yeah.
impractical, but it was
Yeah.
kind of cool.
It's all right. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not too obvious. At least it's not like in your face about it. It's almost like what was the thing that they called on the Mac?
Touch bar.
Touch bar. It's like that.
Yeah,
but for
it was
like
essentially
a
a
phone.
phone with a touch bar. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's not terrible. Hey, removable back. Oh no, it's an iFixit thing. Never mind. It's maybe not repair. Never mind. Anyway, but yeah, but going back to like again, really off topic. We went really off topic there.
We're quite excellent at getting off topic.
Yeah. So I was like, the last bit I added about this whole like Utah bill thing was that, just personal experience. Like, what? Like, I know you said like you didn't get, like, your internet access was like monitored up until 18, but like, you know, just curious what you.
Yeah. So, so my parents were like extremely particular about technology, how often we use technology, how much we used it, and like I said, we had tons of internet filters, which honestly, growing up was it was kind of annoying. Growing up as like a web developer because like use the internet a lot, and like
Mhm.
there, I've discovered there are no good web filters.
I
Like there
agree.
just aren't, because like every one of them I've used has been just truly awful. It's been a mess. Um, and we tried like four of them. The last one we settled on was Disney Circle, which is again, it's just not good. It tons of false positives, not a good interface. Yeah, not good reporting. It was just plain bad. Um, but as far as personal experience, like I said, I got a smartphone at 13, or not 13, 15. Um, and like soon after I got that Kyocera, the little tiny one, I immediately realized my fatal flaw, and I sold that on eBay for like $5, and then I bought a different phone. It was a ZTE Warp 7, which served me pretty well actually. It was a good phone. Um, but yeah, I got a computer actually. I owned like three computers before I got my first phone,
Oh.
which is a little weird. But again, I had like a little business around my neighborhood, and I would do like tech support for people, and often they would just like give me like old computers, and so that's kind of like also how I learned like Linux and how to work my way around that world, because people would give me like their old laptops that were like completely dying, and I would like just like put a Linux distribution on them and like just run Linux for a while. Um, but yeah, and again, everything was like very, very heavily monitored, and I appreciate that because it helped me grow up in a pretty safe environment in regards to the internet. Um, but yeah, I think my parents did a really good job of balancing out um, restrictions with freedom as well, because again, I clearly had enough freedom to learn enough about web development that I was like doing like web development by age like 14, 15 at a pretty high level. So
Mhm.
yeah, not
Yeah.
not many complaints here.
Fair enough. Mine's a bit different. We never had like filters or anything. Like, that wasn't really something we were big on. But I remember I'm the same as
Mm-hmm.
you. I had a laptop before I even got a phone, like an actual smartphone. And it was
Yeah.
my grand's old one when she passed away, R.I.P. Um I got it, and it basically, it was already old at that point. Like, it's a huge monster, like, back when laptops were like this thick, like
Oh, for sure.
absolute monsters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know so originally it ran Windows Vista, and it was one of those, how Windows Vista
Yeah.
was like given to people with hardware that could
Mm-hmm.
not support it whatsoever.
Of
This is
course.
one of
Yeah.
them. So, absolute disaster. Thing never ran. Basically, if you tried to open up Internet Explorer, it took like 5 years. It felt like I was aging. I felt like I was going to turn 18 by the time I actually loaded like
Oh gosh.
Bing.com, right? But then, obviously, Windows 7, everyone's favorite
Mm-hmm.
version, except from
The
XP,
best
my
one.
favorite. XP is my favorite, but
XP.
Windows 7,
I grew up on XP.
same,
I grew up
100%.
on I grew up on XP Windows Movie Maker. Like I would make videos
Oh.
with Windows Movie Maker, and that was like my all-time like Windows Maker and Space Cadet Pinball,
Hmm.
top tier, top tier.
Two things for me was because I never had a computer at home other than my dad's computer, but I wasn't allowed to use my dad's computer, and I was like, okay, because it was for his work and stuff. But I remember
Mm-hmm.
at school, because we had like all these HP machines, and they'd all run in Windows XP, and that's how I learned computers in primary school. And I remember
Mm-hmm.
I used to always use MS Paint, you know,
MS
gotta love
Paint.
MS Paint. And then the other one was Tux Type. I don't know if you've ever played Tux Type, or have you ever heard of it?
I've not.
So Tux Type is a program that's made to help people with dyslexia learn how to type on a keyboard, because obviously I struggled a lot with letters, and I couldn't remember. I don't even know the alphabet. I'm that bad, right? So to try and learn a keyboard alphabet was even harder, because it's completely
Mm-hmm.
different. So what I do is play this game during like, you know, like playtime or something at primary school, and you just like press the keys to stop to get to get Tux to eat the fish, and it's the same mascot that's the Linux mascot.
As Linux. I gotta say, I just found this place, tuxforkids.io.
Yeah, it's still, you can still get it. You can still run it.
Yeah.
It's still a
An
thing.
international group of volunteers developing high-quality software for kids with the goal of combining fun and learning.
It's fully open source as well. So that was my introduction to open source software.
Wow. Okay.
So there you go.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. But yeah, like I say, I had this laptop, and the rule was I could use the laptop like on the weekends or whatever for a wee while, but I had to use it in the living room with my parents. Like they, you know,
Yeah.
it was a thing like you had to use it
Same.
with like as a family. It was a family thing. Okay, fair enough. And obviously, when I got a bit older, my dad gave me his old desktop, and I used that for a few years. And that's when I got my first proper computer that I could use myself. You know, it wasn't monitored, but obviously I was, by that time I was old enough to be trusted. Like I wasn't a kid that would be like, you know, going to dodgy websites or something like that anyway. I wasn't that kind of kid
Yeah.
by that time. And obviously then, I think when I turned 17, I got my current setup, and that's what I've been using since then. But yeah, like I say, it's a bit different to you, because I never had any like artificial blocks, but it was more just like a thing of like ground rules, and if you broke them, you wouldn't use them ever. You basically get the laptop taken off you. But I never had that happen. At least I was a good boy. So, but yeah, but I think I think both ways it can work. It's just obviously like it's knowing what to allow them to do and what not to allow them to do. Like protecting them, but also not shielding them. If you get what I mean, like not trying to, because obviously if you don't know how the internet works, you're basically you're stunted at that point. But yeah,
No, for sure. I'm actually writing. That's funny. I'm actually writing a paper on that right now. Is for my honors class, our group project is writing a paper on how technological literacy affects job opportunities in the future and how we can change that in American public schools.
Huh.
So that's pretty cool.
Hey, actually, what was education like with technology? Because I had a fair bit, to be honest. For me.
So I was my education experience is a bit weird because I was originally public schooled from preschool until 4th grade, and then from 5th grade until 8th grade I was homeschooled, and then from 9th grade to 10th grade I was public schooled again. Then from 11th to 12th grade I was homeschooled again.
Oh wow!
So I've been in and out twice. But yeah, I was. From what I understand, the United States' tech education is like just not very good. Like, it wasn't good when I was in school, and though I missed middle school, even when we were in, even when I was in high school, or my first years of high school, it just wasn't good. Like, it wasn't about education. It was about, hey, complete this task. Like, it wasn't there was nothing about like, hey, how does this work? Now I took a computer science class, in my first and second years of high school, but there were two things about those. They weren't required, so I was taking them essentially as electives, so I didn't have to take those classes, which that's changing, at least in my state. They're making computer science education mandatory for graduation.
Yeah,
from high school,
I think that's a good thing.
which is cool. Yeah, I agree. But then the second thing was like the teachers just did not care. Like, they legitimately did not care about the class.
That's the same for me.
Which again,
in high school,
that's a lot of public school education in general. But
yeah,
in this case specifically, it was like really unfortunate.
Primary wasn't bad for me. I learned a fair bit about computers in primary school, but when I went into secondary school, when I took computing science as like an actual class myself, like I didn't have to do it. Oh my god, it basically it drained any interest in programming or anything out of me, because I got made to read stuff. Like I wouldn't actually like do it myself. I'd have to just read about it. And you're asking a dyslexic to read, like that's not a very clever idea. But it just
I feel that.
It just ruined the whole experience, man, because it just like
even right now, I'm a computer science or computer information systems major in college, and I'm taking the introductory computer science course, and it's awful, man. Like computer science education in general is just like fundamentally broken. Like
Yeah.
I have real problems about it. I can't get into that because we're
Way
running out of
too
time.
far out the scope of this
but-
conversation, but yeah.
We should. I could have like a 25-minute rant about why computer science education globally is just fundamentally broken.
Podcast
that's a
new
different-
podcast episode idea.
Yeah, I would say we have to do an episode on that because
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see. We could talk a little bit more about how people. We could have some more programmer-oriented people on and to kind of talk about how they got started with.
Yeah,
with
because like
programming or
for
what their
example,
educational background was.
last thing on education was for graphic design. I've never took a graphic design class ever. I've
Oh, yeah, me neither.
self-taught myself everything, and I remember one of my friends. He was taking graphic design, and I knew more about color theory than he did, and he was taking graphic design. Like it's
Yeah.
you know, and it kind of proved the point that you don't have to take a class to like prove that you can actually do something. You know,
For sure. Yeah.
but yeah,
We should probably move on to the music segment.
probably. How far are we now? We're like
An hour and 10 minutes.
nice.
Hour
Cool.
and 11 minutes. Okay. Well, I'll go first here. I'm going to talk about Saint Motel-O-Vision, which is the self-titled album by Saint Motel. And Saint Motel it's an interesting genre. It's like kind of it's rock. It's basically just rock. It's like kind of like alt rock, but with a kind of like a poppy feel to it. I don't know. It's just like fun music. It's fun to listen to. It's not generally exactly my style of what I listen to, but it's very fun, very energetic music that I like to listen to. When I'm like it's good driving music, you know, if you're like driving around, it's a
Yeah.
good day. I like Saint Motel-O-Vision for that. So there's a few songs on there. What is it? Destroyer is good. Destroyer's an excellent song. I like that one. For Elise is pretty good too. It's a pun play on words of For Elise. And then they have a different album also that's called the Original Motion Picture Soundtrack.
Oh God,
There's
no.
also a few
The motion picture
good
soundtrack.
songs.
All right. Yeah. The reason I reacted to that was because that's the ending track to Radiohead's Kid A, my favorite album of all time. And I was just about to make a joke when you were talking about doing an episode on computing programming. I was gonna say, well, we need to dedicate an episode to me just rambling about that album because I could probably talk about that for a solid
That's
2
funny.
hours.
That's
But
pretty
yeah,
funny. Yeah,
anyway.
they've got honestly, all of the. I don't know why I picked Saint Motel-O-Vision for this because the original motion picture soundtrack is a better album. But I don't know. Just listen to Saint Motel. They don't miss. They're like all their suggested. Like if you go to them on Spotify, like they're all their first like 8 songs are excellent. Yeah,
Cool.
can't recommend them enough. They're quite fun.
Nice. So there you go. If you're driving, you need some music. There you go.
Indeed.
Cool. So I'll move on to my one, and it's basically it's an EP collab between 21 Pilots and Mute Math. So obviously, I imagine yourself, Micah, you've listened to Blurry Face and Trench, I believe, if I'm
I
not
have.
mistaken. So obviously, you know my opinions on Trench. I think it's their best album, and I think Blurry Face.
I'd agree.
It's a meh. It's fine. There's some good tracks on it, but I think as a concept, it falls a bit flat. Anyway. So Mute Math is the band, or the front man of that band, produced the entirety of Trench with Tyler Joseph, the front man of 21 Pilots. And that's, you know, and I think he played a very important part in that album's sound in being so kind of well produced. But anyway, but Top XMM is basically Mute Math and 21 Pilots collabing to record some of the tracks off of Blurry Face.
Interesting.
So there's Heathens from the Suicide Squad soundtrack, basically the only thing that came out of that movie that was good. Heavy Dirty Soul, Ride, Tear in My Heart, and Lane Boy. So for me, outside of Heavy Dirty Soul and I think Ride, I like those 2 tracks from the original album, but I feel Tear in My Heart and what do you call it? Lane Boy. I don't think they work well.
Tear
in
in My
original.
Heart is just an objectively good song in my opinion. I love Tear in My Heart.
The
It's just a
writing
vibe,
and the
but-
symbolism's very good, but I just find the instrumental just a bit meh. But anyway, my whole point was with this album, I feel like it addresses a lot of the problems I had with the original tracks. For example, Lame Boy. I mean, if you don't want to listen to the whole project, just listen to the outro to Lame Boy on this project, because it is insane. Because basically you got two drummers, like you got, Josh Jun and the drummer from Mute Math just going crazy on it, and it's absolute, it's just brilliant. It's just a great redo. And notice that, the intro to Lame Boy, that kind of like ARP, I don't know what it is, I think it's an ARP, in this version it's actually played with a guitar, and it just sounds incredibly better. It just sounds a lot more well done, I feel.
Oh, that does sound good. Yeah, I'm listening to it. That's neat.
Yeah, and I love the
That's pretty
new
cool.
version of Heathens on this as well. It's even got a moodier aesthetic to it. It just really works. And Heavy Dirty Soul goes way harder as well, because Tyler screams at the end of it as well, and it just feels like it's more intense. And I feel like that adds to the track, Ride's probably the only track I think it's well made. I think it's a really good rendition, but I don't think it is as good as the original. Tear My Heart, I think on this EP is phenomenal compared to the original, in my opinion. I think it's really good. The vibe is completely different, but I think it's a really cool vibe.
Oh my word, it is different. That's weird.
Yeah, but it's really good. It's a really good vibe, But yeah, it's 5 tracks. I think it's about 20 minutes or something. And if you're someone who's listened to those tracks, or are a 21 Pilots fan, or just have listened to Blurryface, or you're just interested, give it a listen, or at least Lame Boy off of this, because I think it is a phenomenal little project, and it was kind of the precursor to Trench. It was the last thing that came out before they released Trench a few years later, and I feel like it was a kind of stepping stone to Trench, which I think, like I say, is their best project that they've released.
Yeah, that's really good. I like that a lot. That's really cool.
But yeah, that's so like I say, best tracks I would say is Heathens off of this, Tear My Heart, and Lame Boy, featuring Mute Math on all three.
Okay. Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, I like those a lot. I'm gonna have to listen to all those later.
Yeah,
It's
like
really
I say, let me know what you think, because I generally think a lot of them are better than the original tracks, but that's just me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I will be sure to listen to those then. That's really cool.
Cool.
Very cool. Alrighty. Well, I think we're reaching the end of the episode here.
17
Gone on
minutes.
for about an hour and 17 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, I don't know if we have any explicit plans for the next episode yet. I don't know. We might do something regarding like computer science education or something like that, if we can get some people to come on for that. Or I don't know. You never know. But be sure to tune in next time, because we're always having something else on as well. You can find us on other platforms at our bio link. That's bio.link/TNC. And you can find the Discord server on there as well. Twitter account, Instagram account, YouTube. We're everywhere, so you can find us if you want to.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you want to plug your own stuff real quick?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm Michael Lindley. You can find me at michaellindley.com, and basically everywhere else I am can be found there.
Cool. And I'm Sean. You can find my server at tazhangout.versal.app, and you can say hi. Please do.
You need
I
to
need
get you
more
a domain for that.
I know, but at least it's a better domain than like the discord.gg/ whatever, a billion different characters for now. But yeah, for now it's tazhangout.versal.app if you want to join.
Alrighty. Well, that's all I've got. Thank you for listening, and we will see you in the next episode.